Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Guidance. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a love message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have is, you make me so nervous. Divine Feminine, there's something about your energy that your person is beginning to notice that instantly makes you stand out from anything that they've ever experienced when it comes to romantic partnerships or their connections. And this masculine may have never expressed this to you. They may actually never admit this to you, but they find you to be just a little bit intimidating. And this is not based upon the way that you present yourself. This is not based upon your exterior or your outward appearance. This is all based upon your energy or your essence. This feminine energy that I'm tapping into, there's something very, very balanced about your aura. And this is something that not only your person, but other masculine energy can identify in you very, very quickly. Because it's like you have this balance of your yin and your yang energy, which makes you very, very grounded, okay? And it's almost as if this energy is so powerful in you that you cannot hide it. So it has absolutely nothing to do with your physical appearance. This is all based upon your aura. It's almost like there's a light shining on you that instantly makes you stand out. So you could be a feminine that has a very, very powerful presence. Like if you were to get a bird's eye view of a room before you walked in the room versus after you come into the room, you literally shift the entire dynamic. And I feel like this is something that this masculine has sat back and watched you do time and time again, and you make them nervous. So when you engage this person, you may notice that you either have really, really deep, intense eye contact with this person, or this person may avoid eye contact with you altogether because of the intensity. So your energy in this way kind of goes before you, and it communicates things to this masculine that you may not even be aware of. And it's almost as if this person is getting to this place where it's very, very hard for them to look away from you. You have the type of energy where you make this masculine want to use you as some kind of measuring stick. They may definitely have you in this place where they use your energy as this point of reference, where they kind of measure other feminine energies against you. Not in a way that's negative, but in a way where you kind of set the standard, whether you know it or not. And what's interesting is it's based upon something that they find to be a little bit intimidating. So this could be something that they either feel like a lot of other feminine energies don't have, but it's definitely coming from an emotion that you evoke in this masculine. And although this makes them feel kind of, riddled with intensity, it almost makes it impossible for them to look away from you. So if you're wondering how this masculine is viewing you, they see you as very, very grounded, very, very balanced, and just a little bit intimidating, and not in a negative type of way, but in a way where your energy is just very, very powerful and very, very potent. And whether you know it or not, there are so many people attracted to your light. You literally have this ability to like shift the energy without even saying anything, without trying, without, trying to put the attention on yourself. You just stand out. So even if you're not trying to assert yourself in this way, this is how your energy is being received, okay? And it's making this masculine a little bit nervous. And it feels like you've always made them nervous from the very, very beginning. So this could be a person who sat back and kind of watched your energy, kind of watch you work a room, and they're taking note of how people receive you and how people receive your energy. And it's something that they find to be very, very interesting and also very, very attractive about you. Okay. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, you're the only one who knows the real me. And I'm being drawn back to the eye contact. So this could explain why your person feels very, very high levels of intensity when they look you in your eyes, or why your person kind of shies away from direct eye contact with you. It's because this masculine feels like you have the ability to look right through them. I'm also getting heavy psychic energy with you, Divine Feminine. So you could be a feminine energy who is highly intuitive. You could resonate as a healer. You could resonate as someone who is a mystic, someone who is a sage. Something about your energy is very, very powerful, okay? And that's just coming through with the reading already. But you don't look at people, Divine Feminine. You look through them. So every single exchange that you have with this masculine, they feel like they're uncovering layers of their soul. Even if they're not being very, very open with you, even if they're not kind of going into their story, and even if they're not really telling you much about themselves, you have this kind of energy where you kind of cut right to the core of a person, and you kind of make the people that you engage with be their authentic self. And this is something that's very, very rare. So it's almost as if this masculine wants you to know that every time you engage them, you are engaging with their higher selves. You are engaging with their soul. And this is why your energy is a little bit intimidating, because it's almost like you're requiring this of them without even saying anything. This is also why they have you as this point of reference, because they're trying to figure out what it is about you that makes them want to go to this place of authenticity versus everyone else that they encounter. For other people, they may be able to wear a mask. They may be able to present in a certain way or say certain things. But with you, something inside of them shifts every single time that they engage you. And you make them want to drop down into their heart space and approach the exchange with something very, very raw, something very authentic, and something very real. So whether you know it or not, Divine Feminine, this masculine is definitely a little bit intimidated by you. And it's because as a feminine, you have this energy to look directly through the 3D, to look directly through the physical and align with the soul. And that's something that's very, very rare. So not only does it tell this masculine that you are in touch with something that is really, really powerful, something that's otherworldly, and something that's deeply spiritual, but there's also something about you where they really don't have a choice but to drop down into the realest, most authentic version of themselves when they engage you. Okay? It's almost like this person cannot wear a mask. This person cannot lie. So this could be a really, really intense type of connection where, because this person has to assume this more authentic role when it comes to you, Divine Feminine, they either engage with you on that very, very deep level, or they avoid you. They avoid eye contact. They may avoid very deep conversations. But every time this person comes in contact with you, it is a very, very powerful and very, very raw exchange. And this is why you make them nervous. It's because you see directly through them in a way that other people in their lives do not. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, your absence is felt. So if you're resonating with this message, this is definitely a connection that is very, very cyclical. It feels like one of those connections where the universe kind of places you and this masculine in the same place at a very, very specific time in order for something very deep and transformational to take place. And because you have this very, very huge light, Divine Feminine, because you carry this very authentic energy with you, you may trigger this masculine. So this definitely feels like a masculine who is sitting back and kind of reflecting over the last interaction that they had with you. Whatever it was very, very intense. And because you have this very, very cyclical type of theme to your connection, this is a masculine who may be in deep contemplation before they engage you again. This is how intense your energy is. It's kind of like this masculine can only handle your energy in doses. But while they've been away from you, Divine Feminine, your absence has absolutely been felt. It's very, very obvious. Because again, you're the only person who knows the real them. You're the only person who sees the real them. Not only that, when they're in your presence, it's almost like they don't have a choice but to align with this very, very authentic timeline. So this is definitely the energy of a masculine who has been really pulling on your energy lately, Divine Feminine. This is someone who misses you. They miss what you bring to their reality, because clearly they're being shown that everyone is not built like you. Everyone doesn't have the ability to pull these raw, intense emotions from them in the way that you do. And for some reason, they're at this place where this is something that they are craving. This is something that they want more of. And this is happening in a very, very real way. So if you've been wondering how this person is feeling about you, you may even be sitting back and anticipating this person coming back into your energy, or wondering how your next exchange is going to be. This is a masculine who is very, very impressed with your ability to get the real version of them without even trying. And because you have this really divine balance of your energy, Divine Feminine, you know when to assert yourself, but you also know when to sit in your receiving mode. And this is where you are right now. So whether you know it or not, there's some type of alignment that's about to happen with you and this person again. And it's because your absence is felt. You have created some type of experience. You have created some type of vibe that cannot be recreated with anyone else. And this is speaking about other feminine energy, with their family, with their friends. This is a vibe, or this is an energy that is completely unique to you. And it resonated so much with this masculine energy that they can feel your absence. And they cannot wait to get back in your energy, Divine Feminine. So I don't know what it is that you said. I don't know how it is that you express yourself. Your energy is coming through as someone who is highly spiritual. You may also be a very deep, very introspective type of feminine energy, where you just touch on topics that many people may not want to touch. And it could be your delivery. It could be the way that you speak. It's something about your energy that completely makes you stand out. And this is something that your masculine wants you to know. You are very, very memorable. You have a vibe that cannot be recreated. You have an energy that cannot be duplicated by anyone, okay? So you have big, big shoes to fill. And it's because of your ability to remain balanced. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, your love healed me. And I'm immediately getting the word judgment with this card here. So the thing about you, Divine Feminine, that also makes you stand out is that you approach life with this sense of neutrality. So every single time that you engage this masculine energy, you allow them to be themselves. You don't go into situations making assumptions about this person. You may ask them questions and genuinely sit back and wait for them to answer. There's something about the way that you approach relationships, communication, connection that is so raw and that is so non-judgmental that this masculine has no other choice but to show up in your energy as their real, authentic self. And whether you know it or not, this is healing them. This is why they can completely feel your absence. This is why when that energy is not around them, they can easily identify people in their lives who don't hold that same frequency. And that's why your energy was coming through as a feminine who is very, very spiritual, because there's something sacred about being in your life, or something sacred about the way that you engage other people. So whether you know it or not, you are definitely a natural healer. And this doesn't have to be something that you do in your everyday life, but this is speaking to your aura. You have a certain way of engaging people or being connected to people that allows them to tap into their authenticity because you're approaching it with non-judgment. You're not projecting anything onto this masculine. You're not asking them to be anything but themselves. And this is why your energy is so powerful. This is why people can feel the energy shift when you walk into a room, because you're aligned with the vibration of truth. And once you really embody this energy of truth, the universe responds to that. And it affects every single person that you come in contact with. So whether you know it or not, Divine Feminine, you are a healer. And this could be something that you do in a big way, but this is really speaking to your day-to-day interactions, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you continue to balance your energy, the way that you see other people. It's something that's very, very healing. It's something that's very, very nurturing, but not in an abrasive kind of way, not in an overbearing kind of way, in a way where you just sit back and you allow things to unfold and you approach things from this sense of neutrality, not looking at things as good or bad or right or wrong. You just allowing things to unfold as they are. And it's affecting this masculine in such a heavy way that they can feel your absence. So even though this may be a connection that's kind of cyclical, this is someone that kind of comes into your life in very auspicious ways or very specific times. Every single time that you engage them is sacred. Okay, let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is soul recognition. Your masculine has reached this place in a journey where they're really walking into sacred territory with you, Divine Feminine. This card here usually comes out when your person is about to show you something or confess something to you or tell you something that is going to completely change the dynamic of your connection. And it's because you were able to recognize their soul. So unlike everybody else in their lives, or unlike the people that they could be comparing you to, either past connections, friendships, family, people in their immediate environment, you were the only person that was able to see through their mask. And initially, your person may react to you in an adverse way. This could make them run. This could make them pull back their energy. But for this masculine, it's making them want to run towards you because it makes them feel more real. It makes them feel more authentic. It makes them feel more raw in who they are. Not only did you see this person, but I'm getting that you fully accept this masculine. Because again, something about your energy is coming through highly psychic. So you may be tapping into high levels of information that this masculine may not even understand how you know, but they can feel it, Divine Feminine. They can feel it when they're in your presence. They can feel it when they're in your energy. And they can especially feel it when you make eye contact. So whether you know it or not, this is an emotional time for your masculine because they're at this place where they're ready to completely take the mask off. And it's only because of how you reacted to seeing their true self, how you reacted to looking into their eyes and really tapping into information that they were not ready to let other people know. So this masculine could be very guarded when it comes to allowing people to see their true nature, their higher self and their lower self. This is also the number one thing that the masculine is looking to identify because so many masculines are forced to wear a mask. They're forced to hide certain parts of themselves, certain parts of their journey or their stories in order to appear a certain way or to attract something. But none of that works with the Divine Feminine. You're the only person who comes into their lives already knowing who they are, where they've been, what they have experienced, how they are going to respond to you. And if you're resonating with this message, this masculine has been waiting for that. So it's almost like they're counting down the days to your next encounter, to when the universe allows you to cross paths again. So if you have a connection that seems very, very cyclical, or just when it comes to the timing, you absolutely know that you're under divine timing, all of this is by design. It's almost as if this masculine was allowed to experience you in doses until they came to this recognition of who you are. And now that they're 100% sure of this, it's almost like they're pulling on your energy. So you may definitely feel this masculine all around you, divine feminine. You may see their name places. You may just be able to feel them in the 5D, pulling on your energy, communicating with you telepathically, sending you messages through songs or through media or any other avenue that they have to communicate with you that is more on the spiritual side. And it's because their soul recognizes you. And once this happens on the journey, there's really nothing that can fill that space. And this is what it feels like your person is going through right now. And some of you may already be aware of that, but for others of you, this is definitely confirmation. Okay? Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have is never judge a book by its cover. Yeah, this masculine is at this place where they are ready to connect with you on a level that they have never connected with you before. It almost feels like this masculine was in this place where they had to wear a specific mask. They had to present themselves in a certain way by society standards or the way that they grew up. Just something about them that is very, very different from what you see, divine feminine. And again, it's almost like you just have this uncanny ability to get right to the core. And when you're dealing with masculine energy, that is not an easy task because they literally will guard their heart space for so long until they come in contact with the person who has the password. And it feels like you have the password to this masculine heart space. And it's the way that you are approaching this situation. It's the way that you know when to assert yourself and when to kind of lean back and allow them to come to you. This is what you're doing here. So this could also be tapping into that kind of cyclical nature of your connection where you know when to lean forward, you know when to kind of pull back. And it feels like all of this is highly intuitive. So something about your connection to source, something about your connection to your spirituality is guiding you in a way that's allowing this connection to unfold so authentically. So you could have came into this connection looking at this masculine a certain way, wondering when you were going to get to this point where they were going to kind of open up to you and allow you to see the real them. And it's almost like they want you to know to not judge a book by its cover. Because whatever they were presenting as in the beginning, you're about to see a completely different version of them. But this is definitely going to be like a more relaxed version of them. A version of them where they're able to be more emotionally expressive. They're able to share with you their hopes, their dreams, their purpose. Just tapping into higher levels of information that this masculine deems as sacred. Things that they've been guarding until they knew that they were dealing with the right type of energy, the right type of soul. So whatever it is that you're doing, divine feminine, as it pertains to your essence, you know, how you just live your life, how you show up, how you speak, how you communicate, definitely keep doing it because you have a very, very healing aura. And this is not just speaking to this connection that you have with this masculine. You have this energy where when people get in front of you, they have no choice but to be authentic. And for some people, this could be extremely triggering because you can see directly into their soul. You can see the truth about them. You may be a walking lie detector in that sense. But for this masculine specifically, it's something that they have been craving, okay? They've been craving a person who is real, a person that they can open up with, that they can really sit back and be themselves with. So not only is this card speaking to how you may have perceived this masculine in the beginning, this is also speaking to how they may have perceived you. You may have come off a little bit intimidating to them. You may have come off as a feminine energy who was just carrying this very divine, healthy balance of your masculine and feminine energies, and they didn't know how to respond to that. They may be used to dealing with feminine energies that are heavily in the feminine energy, maybe even a little bit too much. But because you have this edge to you, it makes you highly magnetic. And they're realizing that maybe they judged you a little bit in the beginning as well. But you're presenting at this time as something that they absolutely need. So this is definitely a connection that's under divine timing. The way that you align, the way that both of your energies connect with one another, it's all sacred and it's all very, very spiritual in its own way. And I feel like this is really giving you insight on how your person feels when they're in your presence and how they receive your energy and receive your healing and, your psychic abilities, your gifts, your intensity versus how they feel when they are away from you. Your absence is absolutely felt, divine feminine. And that's the energy that's driving your connection at this time. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.